right, guys, welcome back. So, on today's episode, we're going to cover, is Kelsey Grammer going to be coming back as Beast? More than just that cameo that was in the Marvels. So, this was on, what was it, Comic Book News or something like that? Cinema Blend. So, if you saw Kelsey Kelsey Grammer make his debut as Beast in 2006's X-Men: The Last Stand, that movie was utterly horrendous. That was such a bad film. But at the time, people were really praising Kelsey Grammer as Beast. Like, he had the gravitas, the demeanor, the intellectual speak. He carried himself with class and sophistication. But at the same time, you didn't want to come across him because you would just rip your arms off. And the other actor who played Beast, Nicholas Holt, I think that's his name, Nicholas Holt. I didn't care for him. You could say maybe as he gets older, he calms down a little bit, but he was just too much of spastic energy, too much, I don't know, like an immature child, if you will. And I didn't like him. I didn't like his rendition of Beast. But let's get into this. This right here that I'm highlighting, this is just nothing. This is, oh, Disney has Disney has the access to Fox again with the mutants, and now they're showing up. Okay, we all know that. So we're gonna get to the juicy bits right here. Grammer addressed this while speaking to Comic Book about Frasier Season 2, which will premiere to Paramount Plus subscription holders next Thursday, September 19th. When Beast was brought up during the outlet's conversation, namely if we'll be seeing more of him in the MCU, the actor responded, "There's nothing I can talk about. What I do know is that there was a huge sort of outburst when I showed up at the end of the Marvels, I guess. The response was really almost, it wasn't unexpected. There'd be some response, but I was pretty overwhelmed, and so there are some conversations." Now, this is interesting because it seems that even though we now have the right, or Disney now has the rights back to the X-Men, it seems that they are so hesitant to give us the X-Men. If you're going to give us the X-Men, then do it already. It just seems like they're trying to do this. Well, we're going to give you what's familiar, and then we're going to slowly give you the new X-Men. See, this is why I really do think to this day, at the end of Avengers Endgame, Thanos should have won. Tony Stark, Iron Man, should not have gotten the stones in time. When Thanos goes, "I am inevitable," and then going clunk, he should have. And then you would have had the perfect opportunity to do a square one reboot. We're starting fresh. Everything in that universe is now erased. So it pseudo existed because it was canon, but now Thanos has rebooted the universe. And you know what? Now we're going to have the X-Men, and now we're going to have the Eternals, even though that movie was crap. And now we're going to have Shang-Chi, and now you're not going to be, tied down to, well, in Thor 4, this happens, but in Thor 3, but when Black Widow and Loki and this and that, and, all these threads. Square one, fresh reboot. Here's your X-Men. That's the way it should have done it. It seems like, oh, well, we can't do the X-Men because this is the interesting part. Now, maybe they're going to introduce the X-Men or mutants proper in Secret Wars, or maybe this multiverse gobbledygook nonsense. Because how can you then justify, let's say you bring the X-Men into the universe. How do you justify, like, oh, these X-Men, these mutants, they are feared and hated and reviled and down with muties, and humans first. But you see Captain America and Spider-Man, they have superpowers too, because superpowers are so far different than mutant powers. Now, maybe when Secret Wars happens and all these different dimensions will open up and all these different universals will come in, and now you got Battle World, and maybe people will start freaking out, like, you are bringing in mutations from another universe to our universe, our 616 universe, our proper prime universe. maybe that's the justification for why they hate mutants, because now they look at the mutants as, well, how do I know your mutation isn't something that's airborne? It's like a disease, and you cough and you sneeze on me, and now I'm gonna grow an arm out of my forehead. Maybe that's their justification of why then mutants would be hated. Because one of the core fundamentals of the X-Men is they're superheroes, but humanity hates them. So it'll be interesting. But if they bring back Beast, I love the way Kelsey Grammer, he held himself with such class and gravitas. And he, like I said earlier, he was calm and cool and collective, and you felt his commanding presence. The other actor, Nicholas Holt, I didn't feel that from him. I didn't. So it'll be interesting to see when we get, Avengers, Doomsday, and then Secret Wars. How many more cameos will we get? Will we get Famke Jensen back as Jean Grey? Uh, what James Marsden? There we go. James Marsden back as Scott Summers Cyclops. You know, it'll be interesting to see it. But this multiverse with infinite possibilities. Well, then there's no consequences, because we'll just pull Stony Tark B and drop him in Universe A, and just, who knows? Maybe they'll finally shut it down, and we'll have our rebooted, reconfigured, rejiggered 616 Marvel Cinematic Universe. And here it is. And this is where our vision is going forward. Anyways, guys, comment down section below. Let me know your thoughts. And as always, take care and take it easy.